Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa, and if you're new here, please be sure to subscribe for more astrology videos if you want to learn more. And today I wanted to sit down and talk about Venus through the houses. And this was actually requested on my Tumblr, and one of you guys wanted me to do a video talking about the different Venus in different house placements. So that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do. And if you're not following me, you can go ahead and follow me on Tumblr if you want for more updates at lunarcappy. So the house position of your Venus is going to show what part of your life you are trying to beautify, or which part of your life you find the most pleasure in, or where you look for pleasure in your life. What do you want to enjoy the most? Which part of your life you turn to in order to relax, in order to feel good about yourself, where you find beauty and harmony, and where you seek peace ultimately. Which part of your life you really believe in and want to show off, because Venus is all about like social graces and social charm and how you behave to attract others, the best version of yourself that you put out there, I want to say, because it's superficialities and it's just like societal pleasantries, how you behave when you want to be socially acceptable, and it encompasses all those things. So the planet of Venus is all about charm and grace and just beauty, and the value, what you value, the area of your life that you value, and the sign is going to explain how you set value to that area, how you go about valuing that particular area. So these descriptions are obviously going to be modified by the particular sign that it's in, as well as the aspects, of course. With Venus in the first house, you really want to display your attractiveness right on the surface, and the first house is all about your appearances, your physical, your what people see right on the surface, and it's the energies that you are the most conscious of because you are very aware of them, and it's right at the forefront. It's like what you deliberately display on the surface because you are very aware of it. Venus here is going to mean that you readily display your charm and your beauty out there for everybody to see, and you're very polite as well, and you're very aware of what you need to do or what you need to say or how to act like in order for people to receive you well, in order to be seen a certain way, to be seen favorably. You really want other people to see you and really like you, and so you put out those energies, the attractive qualities of your Venus sign out into the world, and you say, here, this is me and this is what I represent. Of course, along with other things that are other planets that are present in your first house as well, and your ascendant sign. Okay, so Venus in the second house. This is a classic placement for people who really enjoy luxury, people who enjoy the finer things in life, people who enjoy spoiling themselves, and as well as other people, because they have something to show off, they have something to show for it. And whether they actually have that type of finances or not, that type of bank account, is beside the point, because Venus in the second house really tries to find pleasure in the material, in the things that they own, what they have in their possessions, and not just that, but also in themselves, in their own self-esteem, and the things that really bring comfort and security and joy and pleasure into their life. Whatever that may be, it doesn't even necessarily have to be physical possessions, because not everybody looks to that for security. It's usually what people think of right away when you think of security, is like, literally money, but it's not always the case for everybody. You could find it through spirituality, you could find it through your children, through your job, through your hobbies, and whatever that may be, it might best be illustrated by the sign that your Venus is in. Whatever that is. So Venus in the second house would really like to spoil themselves. They really know how to pamper themselves and really know their own self-worth and value themselves. They are probably like the kings and queens of self-care, because they know how much they're worth, and so they're gonna put that investment into taking care of themselves and like making sure that they feel good in their own skin, that they're surrounding themselves with good things in life, just good situations, good people, good feelings. Venus in the third house is all about communicating beautifully and communicating in a way that others will really like, and you might go back and forth with what you think just to please other people. Maybe the way you talk and the way you think is very laid back and very just accommodating to the other person. You are not the pushy type or the aggressive type when you speak or when you think. You like learn things, you learn at your own leisure pace and communicate your thoughts very politely, and you really value learning and books and knowledge and just your skills. The third house can also rule your skills, so Venus here might include artistic skills, it might include dressing well, aesthetics of any kind, as well as just like socializing really well and knowing how to get people on your side. Venus in the fourth house is about beautifying your inner world, your emotions. You don't like to feel negative emotions. It's really important for you to feel at peace within yourself, to feel taken care of and to feel good in your natural environment, in your home environment. You might try to really look for peace within your family, and if there's like an argument at home, you try your best to make peace with everybody right away, because the fourth house rules over family and your home. So Venus here, you're really going to put effort into making those areas feel very peaceful and harmonious. You might just be a natural parent, be naturally good with kids, also good with like older people too as well, because your fourth house can also rule your ancestors and your roots, from just where you came from, your family generally. So you're good at that, and you know how to connect with people who you're very close to. You'll probably be very good at entertaining in your own home as well, just making people feel really at home wherever you are, and where you invite them into your own private space. Venus in the fifth house is going to be extremely flirtatious. They want to be seen and recognized for their beauty and for their charm, their attractiveness, and just for the good things that they represent. Venus in the fifth house is craving the spotlight, and specifically in their love life, they will probably try to find love or try to find pleasure through romance, just lighthearted romance. That's why that they can be a huge flirt, because they're going to be naturals at that, and they're going to look for pleasure in just being seen and being seen for their talents, their hobbies. This can also really indicate artistic skill as well, one of those placements that indicate that. And also again, with the fourth house, Venus in the fifth house can be about love for children and procreation, just basically sex for fun, for pleasure, and just the physical act. The fifth house is also about self-expression, and so that's also why Venus here can show a person who expresses themselves very flirtatiously and embody those Venusian qualities of being pleasure-seeking and representing love and harmony, wanting to get along with people. So that can be really part of their self-expression and how they're seen in the world, and what kind of like the mark that they're leaving on society. And Venus in the sixth house is expressing your love through service, through giving to other people, through work, and through selflessness. Sixth house is all about those things, and just you putting yourself at the mercy of somebody else. And Venus here expresses its love very selflessly and just through hard work and through acts of kindness. It's a very simple but underrated type of love, I believe. You find pleasure through work and through your daily activities. You could find peace and harmony and just pleasure just through doing those little things that normally people would just overlook or see them as tedious, but for you it's those little things that really matter. It's those daily daily things. This can also be one of those placements that are also good at self-care, like Venus in the second house, because it's the daily routines. It's like the things that keep you on track every day that you find pleasure in doing. And this can also include pets. You might really, really love animals and have a soft spot for, saving, rescuing animals and just spending time with them and making sure that they're really taken care of more than the usual person would. Venus in the 7th house is natural romantic. It's really, really important for them to get along with people. 7th house is all about partnerships and how you connect with other people and teaming up with them. And so Venus here can indicate really trying hard to get along with them and connecting with them in ways that feels equal and it feels accommodating for both of you. It's pleasurable for you but also for them. And you might be the type of person who really gives your all in pleasing the other person. You can be a people pleaser and just find pleasure in just giving to other people and catering to them, making sure that their needs are met. So your relationships can be a really big focus on you. Venus naturally rules the 7th house, and so that can indicate just putting your all into that specific area and just finding love and pleasure and just being with other people, no matter who it is. Even if it isn't like romantic or anything, just being in the presence of other people is something that gives you pleasure and what you look for, being in a harmonious relationship, of course. Venus in the 8th house can be about finding beauty in the depths, in discovering more about other people, their secrets, and sharing intimately with other people in sex, in being emotionally vulnerable, just discovering the truth, discovering all that you can about another person in your relationships. The 8th house is all about like what you share with other people in your partnerships, and with Venus it's all about where you look for pleasure and harmony and where you express your love. And so in this case it'll be when you are connecting the most deeply with another person, whether it's through intimacy or through sharing resources, through like a joint partnership. You really find joy in and pleasure in learning about the other person and through what you can share with them or what you can receive from them. You're not scared of finding out people's deepest, darkest secrets in their like scariest, darkest emotions. You're not afraid of that. You find that beautiful, and you find sharing those really deep, suppressed parts of each of your lives as very pleasurable, and that's something that you look for in a relationship. Venus in the 9th house is all about exploration. It's all about learning as well as teaching and just finding out all that you can about the world and exploring. And so Venus in the 9th house can be a little bit hard to tame, a little bit hard to settle down, because they want to experience as much of the world as possible and they don't want to feel like they're missing out on anything. They're very adventurous. They can have really strong philosophies and beliefs about love and relationships and about self-worth. They're going to be those types of people who really have these big ideas about love, and they're going to try to learn about love through exploration, through books, maybe through film and through art, through culturing themselves, through worldly experiences. They will probably fall in love with a teacher, with a professor through their university, because the 9th house rules university and like higher learning. And so they're gonna either fall in love with like a teacher or somebody older, or through a specific subject, through something that they're learning about. So knowledge is love for them. They have a huge love for knowledge and it just expanding their mind. Venus in the 10th house is all about finding pleasure in your work, through your reputation, and through cultivating this persona that is very likable, that is very charming, and you want to be seen by the world. You need, like, your self-worth and self-esteem is wrapped up in being seen and recognized by the world. And so you might seek fame because of that. You might try to gain a higher position in life because it's something that you find worthwhile and valuable. Venus is about what you value, and so being in a higher position, being an authority figure, or being just or even just like being seen in general by the world and being publicly known, being famous through the internet is something that you really value. Or they might be in love with their work, with their career, just achievements. They see achievements as like that number one true love. Their goals and their ambitions are really something that they value and that they find pleasure in achieving. Venus in the 10th house is also love for the higher ups, the authorities. So they might really get along well with people who are above them, their bosses, or through like just people who are in charge of them, basically, like maybe the government. Maybe they value rules, regulations just that much. And Venus in the 10th house might also prefer older partners. They might look for a career where they are seen by the world, as well as like being known for like their beauty and for their attractiveness and for their fairness. Venus in the 11th house is about seeking love and pleasure through your friendships, through your goals and through your dreams, through making society better. I can see Venus in the 11th house just being friends with everybody and finding something beautiful and something to appreciate in every single person on this planet, no matter how different you are, no matter where you come from, your background, no matter how different you are. They are able to connect so easily and so harmoniously with all types of people, all types of groups and organizations, just valuing the bigger picture and just valuing society as a whole. And they care so much about the future and about where this world is headed. Venus in the 11th house will probably try to find love or partnerships through a group that they're part of, like whether it's just basically a friend group or something bigger through a club that they're part of. And having that common goal with another person is going to be so important. They might be the type to fall in love with their own goals, with their own dreams, and just pursuing that to like no end. It can be very idealistic about love, like this is how love should be, and they're going to have those really big ideas and big philosophies about love and relationships, or love itself and relationships, and beauty might be one of their goals, because the 11th house rules your dreams and your goals and like what you really want to achieve and just see for yourself idealistically in the future. And so Venus here is going to represent love being that ultimate goal, or just relationships being and connecting with other people as one of your ultimate goals. Venus in the 12th house is going to be a very spiritual love, finding love and beauty and pleasure through spirituality, through whether it's within your own self or with another person. And Venus in the 12th house is all about like finding pleasure and peace through solitude. The 12th house is all about solitude and isolation and just your inner world and your unconscious mind. Venus in the 12th house can indicate not really being aware of your own beauty, of your own charm and your own self-worth, because it's very deep in that 12th house of the unconscious. And it's just something that it might be something that you're constantly searching for throughout life. It might be something that you only find or realize within yourself when you're by yourself, when you are left with your own thoughts and left to ruminate, or it might be something that you keep secret, something that you're ashamed of. The 12th house can also rule secrecy and like things that you yourself are not even aware of, and so that it might be like something that you just kind of keep within closed doors, behind closed doors. And Venus here is perhaps you do keep your crushes or your affections very much to yourself, or maybe you're not even like completely aware that you like somebody. Sometimes like it's just, or you don't figure it out until later, basically. Venus in the 12th house can have that effect, and you're all about finding pleasure and love and beauty in the depths, in trying to find it within yourself, in spirituality, in your spiritual practices, in religion, in a faith, finding the deeper meaning behind life. That's something that you really find pleasure in, is just knowing the unknown, pleasure in discovering the unknown, finding beauty in what you don't know. So that was just a little quick run through all the Venus through the house placements. I hope you found it informative. If you have, please make sure that you like this video and let me know other suggestions that you might have for my channel. Please remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, if you want to learn more about astrology, and also follow me on Tumblr if you want, or just check out my blog at lunarcappy.tumblr.com. I'll see you soon for another video, very soon.